Chat, here we go. It's Jack versus Juicy. Hopping on a Driftwood night as these guys play in a $250 best of 5 1v1 courtesy of Rocket League. Shout out Rocket League for sponsoring the stream. The Haunted Hollows event going on right now. Worth checking out. You're going to see these guys rocking some of the items from it. As Juicy is also going to show that he's a highly mechanical player. Juicy's been playing really well in 1v1 as he gets a reset at around ceiling heights. He actually uses this backflip to push the ball down, which is not something you see super often and not something that Jack was able to adjust to. I gotta pull up RL duels. I think Juicy's on a winning streak. He hasn't been playing Arm the Rebels, which is the recent 1v1 tournaments that we've been seeing a lot of the top players play. But he has still been playing really well in show matches that he has played, as he's looking for a double to extend the lead even more. Wasn't able to get it, so now trying to keep the possession going. Jack yet to find any offense here in this game, but Jack was looking really solid. Yesterday when he played in Arm the Rebels, playing at a very high level, people were likening it to his performance at Master Duelist, which Jack was able to win and had a lot of people convinced he was first killer. But he was just Jack. Jack playing at a super high level. He's got a 50 here. Should be able to score the first and tie the game just a full minute in. All right, Juicy's... yeah, he's on a 3-game winning streak. So he got a Game 7 win over Vatira, a Game 5 win over Lost. He played recently against Atto in another prize match. I think Bacchus was the one who gave the prize for that one. But it's going to be a prize match courtesy of Rocket League this time around. And will he be able to keep that streak going? Vatira lost Atto, not a bad set of wins. His first loss before that was Nas, and everybody's losing to Nas nowadays. Doesn't feel like something you should hang your head too much about. Jack pinching this one back into his own corner with Juicy. Juicy going to try and jump early, but Jack just speeds up the dribble and is able to get it past him. Normally, you won't see dribbles set up and taken this quickly because you need to be able to control them and you need to be able to get back to the ball, get a reset to make some sort of outplay. Juicy is angling for that kind of dribble. Instead, Jack just went for 2 heavy touches. Really not even a dribble, almost just like trying to push the ball out ahead of him. And that was a counter to the pre-jump from Juicy, and it worked well as Juicy not able to get the 50 to force this one in. Jack air dribble 50, and he positions himself perfectly to stop this clear. He sees Juicy looking to try and cut this ball into the corner and just becomes a brick wall to deny it. Juicy almost expected to be able to save that easier, I think, because he didn't seem to put a lot of effort into it. Juicy air dribble resets. What a shot. Juicy, a couple really nice mechanical plays. Again, using that reset to push it out past Jack. Jack actually had a chance at stopping it had he flipped into the ball, but he wanted to pull back and maybe prevent himself from getting faked. Nice kickoff win for Jack. He'll retake the lead. Juicy. Wall to air dribble. Has the resets. Does never want to take the shot. Has to now try and defend what is a pretty high bounce outside Jack's net. It can be hard to control those, and he will not manage to do so, as Jack has the advantage of getting to attack with speed towards the ball instead of being sitting right underneath it. And he'll put a little bit of separation, maybe the biggest separation we've seen in this match so far. Juicy to the back wall, feathering that boost off of 100 to make sure he steals the corner. Doesn't want Jack to be able to have it, even though by no means does he necessarily need any more. Jack's got the Spidey Sense topper on, which, as far as toppers go, it's actually not so bad. Toppers usually can get in the way, but the Spidey Sense one seems like it's pretty low profile. And maybe it gives him a boost in the game. Jack. Trying to chip this ball off the wall into a possession. He's used up all his boost now. Juicy doesn't get the immediate punish, but he does get the boost steal. So Jack, in dire situations, might get himself demoed. He needs to avoid that here. You actually see him creeping out upfield, really just as a way to stay away from any possible demo. Obviously, you don't normally want to put yourself on the wrong side of the ball, but it's worth it to stay alive. And in this case, Juicy even ended up tapping the ball out towards him. Jack on 0 still. Trying to find his way out. Juicy can take a while, but he can't take more than a minute if he wants to get this goal. Has a reset, and actually able to score it low. Goes for the wave dash shot. It does seem like Jack is there. And even though Jack does get a touch, he doesn't get the full save, and maybe that's just because a little bit more movement than he was expecting. It does seem like Jack should have it because it's a slow play, but there's such a different angle than Jack thought would be coming from that shot. And now Juicy kickoff goal as he forces it into Jack's corner. And all of a sudden, the 2-goal swing, he's the one in the driver's seat with a minute left to go. Jack tap around Juicy, nice double. These guys not doing a lot to slow each other down off the kickoff. Juicy gonna get first possession on this one. Jack forced back to the corner. Next goal could be the difference for either one of these guys. What a pinch. Jack swinging back around and manages to get a decent enough 50. Juicy tried to follow up his pinch for a clear, and what a save on the return. Crossbar down and out. Juicy on 0 boost. Still in the right position to make the follow-up save. Jack doesn't have much either, but those flicks can sometimes be so threatening. You don't really need a boost to launch it high over the low boost defender, but these guys have both have reset now. Juicy clears it away again, staying aggressive on the ball on his very little boost. Soft touch. One last take he's going to have to defend. Jack goes up. Is that ball in? It is! Jack at 0 seconds. Pops the ball up and manages to keep it underneath the crossbar. It drops in the top left. The double jump bump, but the bump didn't really matter. It was more about getting the ball up early over the challenge. And Jack will take game number 1 in this $250 best of 5. And he's shooting webs at us as his celebration. Game number 2. A close series is what I was probably expecting between Juicy and Jack. And it looks like that's what we're going to get based on game number 1. Juicy has looked like the better player in the air so far. And he's going to get another goal off of some solid car control. Look at this reverse wave dash, even just to reposition slightly. It's all the little things that put yourself in the right position to make the play. Juicy losing the kickoff into his back corner, but I say losing. He's able to fight the ball away fairly quickly, get himself the long shot to make it 2-0. Jack seems to want to get the ball to a carry whenever possible, and another great dribble. We saw him open up the series with just a couple quick touches and just kind of threaten those resets, spinning around, making it seem like he could take the ball down for a reset and go for a shot from there. And that's essential because that's what keeps Juicy at bay and not just reading these straight dribbles. If Jack is not rolling underneath the ball, just pops it up and stays square with it the whole way, it's going to be very telegraphed. Juicy's going to have a much easier time timing his challenge. Right now, Jack taking advantage of the fact that the flip reset game is so prevalent in ones. He can just threaten that to get defenders to wait longer and just dribble it over the top of them. Nice flick. Jack gonna tie it right back up. Jack, high pop to himself. It's just going to go for the power shot. It will be saved, but he knows he's going to beat Juicy to the corner. Now Jack falling from the ceiling to get a reset on the ball. Not easy to make something happen when you have to approach it from way above. But getting the reset in the way he did is not a bad way to do it. Juicy, and he goes the length of the field out of his back corner, has a reset, and is going to place it over the top of Jack. Juicy continues to impress through the air. And Jack has more than enough time. He is prepared to make this save. He's in position, but it's tough to stop a shot like that one. Bit of a committal play as well. Juicy using every last bit of boost to shoot it, but when it's as executed as well as that, maybe it isn't that much of a risk. Hook shot from Juicy. Jack has the save as these two swing down left side of the field. Juicy trying to save every last bit of boost to be able to do something like this. Collect the ball and flick when he needs to. Still going to result in another Jack dribble. And I think he got a slight bump on the ground. I think it was a low bump play that led to this goal. Juicy didn't just miss the shadow defense. It was Jack flipping through and protecting the angle that Juicy needed to take in order to get to the ball. So it's not your standard bump play, but it's one that's going to be just as effective. And they'll tie the game. Juicy going to back off the ball. He knows he's giving up possession. Decided that was better than trying to make a play on it. And I think he's maybe proven his point as he's able to dodge Jack after his shot. Almost had the counterattack. Jack saving so much boost. Not allowing Juicy the time to pick up 100 as he's able to really threaten a quick shot straight down the field. Jack to the ground. He's been doing a lot of different, what could be pogo setups based on what I was watching him in Arm the Rebels yesterday. Bringing the ball to the ground. You know, a good distance from the net. You can sometimes surprise defenders by going for that pogo shot late, and Jack is certainly doing the kind of setups that would make you think there's a chance he goes for it. For the most part, I've seen him just taking it to the ground. Juicy, aggressive off this kickoff, did not get the side flip touch. But Jack, who's on the wrong side of the ball to make a shot, elects to just take it into the corner anyways. So Juicy going to have a moment to try and position and make a save. Playing off pads. Jack went just fast enough to show back up in the other half when the 100 respawns. But the boost starvation doesn't seem to work as Juicy finds his way out all the same. And now times his take a little bit too soon. Oh, actually, Jack rolls over the top of it, and it does respawn for Juicy in time. But certainly not what you originally want to set up. Jack, what a save. Juicy pops it on net. Not only does Jack save it, he keeps it around to make that power shot available. And Juicy did his best to pre-flip and cut it off. But he's not going to get there in time. 5-3. Jack playing some solid 1v1 as he's got himself a lead. On the edge of putting himself up 2-0. I'm not sure we're going to see from either one of these teams as far as their, or either one of these players, I should say, as far as their teams in RLCS next season. Jack has been speculated to play on a bunch of different teams, or at least trying out with a bunch of different teams as far as I'm aware. Juicy seems to be probably part of the mates, it sounds like, with Radosin and Seiko. That's what the most recent rumors are. But even that not fully confirmed. Jack is going to steal the ball away and put himself up 3. So this game also not fully confirmed, but it does feel like it's probably going to be Jack's as he chips the ball into Juicy's half flip kickoff. Gotta be something that Juicy feels good about. Certainly what he's hoping for whenever he goes for that half flip, but he's down to go next. He does not want to wait out the 19 seconds. So we'll tick him down for him. Jack gonna be up 2-0. Such a quiet arena when the game is over. So spooky as we get webs shot at us again. Jack, one game away from $250. Game number 3. Both these guys rocking the Symbiote decal. And I think we've had 4 matches now sponsored by Rocket League. So at least 8 different cars. And I think we've probably seen the Symbiote on half of them. Maybe even more. A clear favorite from the set of items. Jack double jumping up into a dribble. The reset shot over the top of Juicy. Juicy gets a touch, but he cannot help but just force it in. Jack getting involved in the aerial game as well. Showing he has the edge all around against Juicy unless Juicy can get something going. Juicy to the sky, has a reset. Wants to go top left. What placement from Juicy. My goodness. Again, his full field air dribbles. This one is a little bit short of the back wall, but still, he's also finishing with very little boost. He's using the last bit he has to just power that shot into the perfect spot, and it's only worth it if you can be, as precise as he is. You see tons of players a little bit less talented than Juicy use that last bit of boost, flip into the ball, miss, and then therefore get countered, or can't recover in time to make up for it. But Juicy's going all in, and it's paying off pretty much every time. He's going to lose this kickoff as Jack slowly dribbles it down and delays his flick. So he finds himself back in a deficit, but seems like he's best off when he can create as many long air dribble opportunities as possible. Jack, of course, will be making efforts to not let it happen. Jack really wants to slow the game down. I remember when I first watched Jack play in 1v1, he was playing against some North Americans, or at least I should say, the first time I saw him in a Showmatch on my stream, I'm pretty sure. He might have played a little bit before that. But he was playing against North Americans in the EU versus North America Challenge, and he would just bring the game to an absolute halt with the ball on top of his car if you did not go challenge him. Nice flick from Juicy. Good cancel as well to make sure he lands comfortably. And again, the placement from Juicy has just been impeccable. He's going to go from flicking it to one corner to then popping it out and tapping it right back to the other. And he's got himself back within one. Juicy challenging the ball here early. And I think Juicy could afford to just stay involved in the play as much as possible. Whenever he gets some space, Jack is getting that ball into a ball carry and then bringing the game to a halt. Juicy, a pogo, a very interesting one. It did seem like it was intentional, but then he fought back against the pogo and the way it wanted to bounce him. Juicy, can he get this double? Again, a zero boost double. Juicy using every last bit of boost. Something you really don't see a ton of people doing nowadays because it's such an all-in play in ones. And yet here he is, converting on all of them and making it worth his while. Wave dash kickoff for Juicy, and a zap dash. Almost got himself a goal, but I think Jack actually might have done one himself in order to recover. He's able to take it away. Jack undercutting Juicy. Seeing if he can pin him back on this back line. Juicy should be able to escape. Has to just take a slight detour in order to let Jack by without getting demoed. Not a great 50 for Juicy. Pre-flip from Jack, though. Still denied. And kept from being a goal. Juicy going to play a little ground game himself. Wave dash pop the side flip. I think was supposed to be a flick. We could say it was a fake, but I think he was trying to pop the ball up. Oh my goodness, Jack. Jack showing one of the shots that will never ever go out of style in 1v1. That's a nice little bounce dribble setup to 110 km/h hook shot top left. Yeah, that'll be just fine in any era of Rocket League, I believe. So halfway through this game, Jack back in the lead as he looks to try and close out a full sweep for 250. Juicy gets beat. Make it a 2-goal lead. Juicy down to a ball carry. These are the positions that Jack has been really well in, or been doing really well in. Juicy not so much, but he does beat Jack on this flick. I want to watch it again from Jack's perspective. It seemed like it was going to be possible to save, but man, I guess I had just enough heat that Jack didn't get up in time. Someone chat said Jack's spidey senses are tingling. His spidey senses are tingling every single second. In fact, they look like they're tingling more often than they're not, which, I don't know, seems like the tingles are maybe happening a little bit too often. I wouldn't hate it if the spidey sense topper was a little bit less active and it just showed up on occasion, somehow coded in a perfect time when you actually have spidey sense. When you're around the net or something, ball gets close to the net, spidey sense tingles. Juicy flick, another powerful flick. Jack able to just barely send it to the backboard. $71 boost for Juicy. He is going to try and make something out of this. And the something that he did make out of it is a boost steal. Jack chasing him down, gets the demo just in time. He was going all in for the demo. If he didn't get it, he was getting scored on. But he got it as late as he possibly could to still get away with it. And again, here's Jack trying to slow the game down. He wants to get a ball carry, and he wants to just read you as a defender and beat you. This time, Juicy into the shadow. Jack says you are likely to be the victim of a bump. And double jump bumps him to clear the space. A minute 11. Juicy, not the cleanest of wave dash kickoffs as he gets pushed back with the ball into the orange half. Wants a pinch. Has it off the corner and in front of the net. Jack is able to make the save. What a save from Jack, who rushed back in order to deny Juicy his easy tap in. Now Jack, that backflip's not going to do it. He needed to get it out into the corner, but instead he popped it back towards Juicy. I want to see if he had a chance to do so. That early jump, no, just pushed him too far. Made it so that his only play he can make on the ball was backwards. So 6-6. Can Juicy stay alive? Jack. Oh, the long shot beat Juicy to the ball. Juicy taking a big risk considering the tie game. After he worked his way all the way back. Grabbed the midfield 100. Thought he could surprise Jack with a bit of a all-in challenge. He did not surprise the guy who's been in the 1v1 game a long time. Although he does lose this battle for the midfield kickoff, or the midfield boost, I should say, off the kickoff. Jack denies the first flick, launching the ball away and likely possession away as well, as Juicy manages to get his 100 boost. He's going to go quickly, wants to force Jack to make a save while recovering with speed. He's got Jack low on boost, so he doesn't need to panic. It's probably going to be a possession here eventually. Looks like Jack has forced him to go the distance of the field, though, in the air, so it's a tough thing to do, but Juicy's been doing it all series long. This time goes for the fake as he went just a bit too high. So the fake was really the only thing that was an option. Jack will let it roll down to the ground. So it'll be a sweep for Jack against Juicy and a $250 show match brought to you by Rocket League. Jack's been playing great. Able to stop Juicy's streak. Juicy had a good streak against a lot of high-level players. Shout out both them for playing. Jack taking it. Really, it was somewhat of a close sweep. What was the score lines? Yeah, 7-6 and then a 6-3. Game 2 was one clean, but 2 7-6s. So not the easiest win, but it is a sweep for Mr. Jack.